Hey, 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 welcome to my Virgo channel. I just got off from doing a reading for my Psychic Soul Reader channel. So if you are any other zodiac and want to get Psychic Soul messages, go to my Psychic Soul Healer page. You can find all links to my other YouTube channels, social media, and anywhere else that you might want to find me that's of any relevance, you can find me in the description box below. You also can find out how to win your own psychic reading with me, which is all you have to do is hit that like, comment the word psychic healer in your comment bar. That's the word today. Sometimes it changes. I do that to make sure that you're watching the videos and subscribe to the channel. Those three things you can win a free psychic reading with me. All right. Just wanted to put that out there to you. Now, the only difference between me and other readers is I always start off using my deck, the Psychic Soul Healer Oracle deck, because I like to look at here. That one's not upside down. And the reason why is because I like to look at the karmic wounds, the soul wounds. What is the karmic theme? What are the energies, the underlying energies that are dictating the experience? What's going on? You know, it helps us deal with those complicated relationships, right? Again, when we love the person, but logically we shouldn't love that person, we feel like a lot of times that happens when our relationships become imbalanced, especially soulmate twin flame relationships, where those relationships are designed to pull out every single trauma that you have because they work like a mirror. You're a mirror of whom what comes into your life. Your behaviorism may not match the same wound that which it usually doesn't. Both parties also tend to not think the same way. You may wind up with someone that's very logical, analytical, where your person is very intuitive, sensitive, psychic, different spiritual energy opposed to root chakra energy, very different, like crown chakra energy from root chakra energy, very different. One's very reflective, intuitive, and takes like everything in the outside world into consideration, and then usually considers oneself. And I'm not saying that that's the correct way to be. One and the other person tends to be very like, I'm going to go out and do and take care of and think about the actions of what I did later. It's just different ways of handling life, different ways of navigating life. And when you wind up with a person that doesn't think like you do and then is going to be drawing out the same wounds that you do, it's a complicated relationship, but the relationship's designed to bring you both into balance, because maybe you're very intuitive and you never take in uh, physical worldly things, such as not you don't pay attention to your money, or maybe you don't realize what's going on in the world, or maybe like you're too much one way opposed to your person that's too much the other way. So unconditional love, we find balance. That's why we have these relationships. The relationships are to teach us about self, to teach us about uh, to teach us that we are God, which is unconditional love, that we are the universe, the stars, the sun, the moon, that is the energy that's inside of us. If you were to look, they say that the human body is 75% made up of water. The world, again, 75% made up of water. We are the universe, and the universe is God. And God is just unconditional love. Wouldn't know what that was, because everybody puts a you know a their perception of what love is supposed to look like, and that is usually imbalanced. It's imbalanced because it has expectations, and then some people actually think if they love someone that they own them, and that's not that's not balanced. That's codependent. We have to again have that unconditional love within ourselves first. That's why they say you really have to love yourself first before you can get into a relationship. And that's the reason why. So you can get to a place where you love yourself, but then also wind up with a soulmate twin flame and realize that there are a lot of aspects of yourself that you don't love because the person's triggering you, and you know that because no one should be able to trigger you. That's really, it's again, if someone makes us mad, someone makes triggered, that the triggers actually are wound. So this is why we use my deck first, because I want to look at the wound energy, because that will tell me the karmic energy. So then we could tackle the relationship a little bit different, or even a work experience, right? Again, not all the time is it love. I like to look at the love first. I just, because I feel like that most people like to know about the love situation, but finances will tell you just as much. Okay, manic. So there's a sense of when I ask how you, again, this is going to be timeless reading for anyone that lands on this. So flip it, switch it, twist it, interpret the message as it best resonates for you. But I'm going to say in this story that the person that you're connected to is manic, and that where manic is a sign that they have to keep doing stuff. It's like they can't sit still, and they can't sit still. They have a lot of anxiety, and it's their mind chatter. It's the way that they feel that they're getting out of their mind, but they're really not, because whatever they're doing, they're not fully present in. Their mind is still manic on all those different things. They're just kind of doing things, which means that they're not really going to remember anything. And as I said, things are not really going to be done in a loving, calm way. They're going to be done kind of half-assed. They're going to be done like more from an emotional standpoint, because mania is a sign that your emotions are all over the place. And it's actually a chemical imbalance that comes from bipolar a lot of times. But if we're saying manic, it's again, so your person could have bipolar tendencies, or you could also have bipolar tendencies where this person makes you manic. Because remember, if I'm talking about soulmate twin flame, I'm talking about mirrored energy. That's what I'm talking about. Spirit descending. But I feel like if you are connected to a person, like I said, you're connected to a person, but you have tendencies to be the same, but your spirit's descending. And spirit descends when we're on our path. The spirit part of self is God part of self. And the language is intuition and inner knowing, right? Which is claircognizance, clairsentient, when you can feel it. So a spirit descends, we're using our spirit on our path, which is actually a really good thing. I also feel like because you're doing this, it's making your person's spirit descend a little bit to get out of mania. Because when a person doesn't know what to do, that's usually when they're all up in their head, when they have a lot of anxiety around a lot. The energy of that, of anxiety, could mirror out as mania. Overstimulated, which again, we know this because mania does that. Overstimulation is a combination of too much thoughts and too much emotions, and where a person can't really feel their spirit, they don't know what to do. They're kind of just frozen. So if you were to look at them, you'd be like, you're in a fight, flight, or freeze stance, and you are in freeze. Your nervous system is overstimulated, but you're stuck in frozen. And I feel like that happened because, again, mania. And mania is too much thoughts, too much energy, too much anxiety. I need to run around and do something. But I do believe that you having this connection to them, because I am asking, again, whoever lands on this channel, what's going on with their person? What's their person going to do? How does that person feel about them? Well, right now, they're not really feeling much because they're feeling very overstimulated. And they're feeling very overstimulated because they're in mania. And because when they feel out of control, that's when their bipolar kind of acts up, is what I'm feeling. And so you can also have the tendency to be bipolar yourself. And that happens a lot of times if you were brought up in an alcoholic family, if you were a highly sensitive person and wasn't allowed to have your emotions, or again, process your emotions, I should say, which you're for seen as being very emotional, you'll be told to shut down. You won't be perceived as strong. So a lot of people try to suppress their emotions. And so they've done it for so long, it comes out as angry instead of sad, or instead of being able to express themselves, which is a lot of what I feel like. So the spirit descends as the God part of self, right? The spirit part of self. And that happens when we obviously need to heal, when we need to manifest. So I kind of feeling like your energy is over here. You're separate from this person. So I feel like you can feel them. So this is the overall energy, but we don't know why. Okay, merciless forgiveness. I wanted to pull one more card to be like, okay, why? Well, that makes logical sense. If you are in a soulmate twin flame relationship where your person never really let you get close, didn't give you enough, wasn't very deep, remember, because someone that has mania and they don't know how to process their emotions, and now they're overstimulated. A lot of times they're going to react the way that they always did, right? People go in and out of consciousness. They tend to go out of consciousness when they're overstimulated, because they're like, oh, what's going to happen? I'm afraid, any type of anxiety. And then what's bad is people then just react the way that they always react, which if a person needs healing, they're going to do things to create problems. And I feel like your person there wasn't like a third party or anything like that. They just refused to let you get close to them. And they played a lot of head games, I feel like, in trying to keep you at a distance. And really, because you're in your path and your spirit is descending, like really their spirit's descending, because when you walked away, when an unconditional love like that walks away, even if the person's stuck up in their head for a while, they see that you can feel what you missed, what you lost. And the merciless forgiveness is mainly like, it's up to you whether you're going to forgive them. This person hopes that you'll forgive them for how they treated you, but they're thinking about it so much, it's creating a lot of overstimulation, because you are a soulmate twin flame relationship. Otherwise, both spirits would descend. Now understand, just you moving forward in your life, just you moving away from this and not feeding this, not sitting there while this person is going through their process, makes this person's spirit descend, because there's no obligation to do so. But there's also like a need for your person to actually fix what they did. So I feel like there's an apology coming. That's really what I'm feeling. Now I want to look at a little bit of a storyline here, because I wanted to look at the energy, and then we'll look at the triggers and the hidden truths and all that fun stuff. But let's look and see actually what happened where there needed to be forgiveness. Okay, Eight of Wands, and this is reign of activity, and this one came out upside down. So there was no movement. There was no movement in this connection. None. Which is what I said. The person was holding back. They weren't giving. They were, again, playing a lot of head games because they didn't want you to move away, because they still had feelings. And then they played it almost too much, which happens with a lot of times when we are not really coming from our truth, and when we're not coming from our truth, we're overcompensating in what we're trying to do. We're not realizing that we're overcompensating because we're imbalanced. And I feel like your person was imbalanced, and because they got scared, because this connection is like, wow. And they so they didn't do anything. They didn't think that you'd walk away, because they're used to people not doing that, but they've never had a deep relationship like this. Because soulmate twin flame relationship also tends to mean that you're brought into each other's life to step up your both of your game. You become, if the relationship is successful, both parties step into their true self, into the divine feminine, the divine masculine people that they're supposed to be. Um, your person didn't do that. And now, because they didn't do that, they're all melancholy and sad about it because they, again, I believe that they always believe that also, I don't know whether you're that person and I have all these other options. Well, of course you didn't because you didn't give any energy to it. And then what I'm feeling also is that your person knows that they gave a lot of attention to other people that were not worthy of their attention. And you know this too. So now they're saying, I didn't give her anything or him anything. Take it as it resonates. We don't read for gender and tarot. So take it as it resonates. So I didn't give anything. I held back, kind of like dangling the carrot because I didn't want you to really run away. But now I see I didn't give anything. And now, like, I'm sad about like the choices that I meant. The person still has 2 cups over here, though, but they're not looking at that, meaning they can resolve it. I believe that it's not broken forever. They would come back with an apology, which this is flipped over and it's like 9 of Cups satisfaction. Like, I feel like your person wasn't really satisfied and didn't act like it. I just pulled that because it was upside down. But if I'm going to include that in the story, I would say, well, I feel like they pretended also that life was grand without you, that it didn't matter because they wanted you to do all the work. They wanted to dangle the carrot so that you would give more and more and more so that they wouldn't have to. Because again, they were being cocky. They didn't really know what they wanted. Now, eight of Swords again, but this is like, I hate this card because it's like it came out reversed because it's like, first of all, the person, even with it upright, it's like the person can step out at any given time that they want. Is like the playing little victim role, and really because I feel like your person is still a little bit in their ego. So if you're separate from them, it's the simple case of, I know I did all that. I don't want to be questioned about all of that. Ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I want to see what their hidden truth is. Let's look and see what the hidden truths are. I'm starting to understand our connection. So it's, again, your person like breadcrumbed everywhere in order to stay safe is what I'm feeling. They never really gave anybody. They pretended that their life was, oh, mighty fine. And it possibly was at a time, but until I feel like they met you. And the reason why is because they never had that type of love. And why I say that is because not just any connection is going to overstimulate you. That overstimulates and mania happens, like, again, when we're really like, again, our emotions are up and down, up and down, up and down. And that is what it feels like when you're actually in like a twin flame soulmate relationship that is not balanced, where your person wasn't balanced. It's showing that they weren't. And it wasn't because that there was any issue. They just didn't want to do that. They wanted to play the field. They wanted to breadcrumb. They thought you were going to be there. Why would they think that you were there? I don't know. Like, I need to pull for that because that's like ridiculous. Why? It's like, I wonder if you are happy without me. So it's, again, like they realize the connection, but they also see like, I didn't give anything to this relationship. And now I'm still not present. I'm still not in my body. I'm still thinking about you. And now I'm wondering what it is. So they breadcrumbed, but I'm curious. I want to know how you feel because that's kind of important, that like there is a sense of, oh. Okay, so there's a sense that you feel like maybe that there's, even though there might not have been there might not have been like 1,001 other person, but a lot of other people that you're always going to be concerned that there's, again, always a choice. And because you know that this person knows that you love them, and if you go back with them, then they really know that you love them, that it's always going to be hard work. And I could also read this as your person, like, again, is making a choice, even though I don't feel like the choice is not between you and someone else. I'm not feeling like on a love relationship. It could be, again, between my freedom and you. And though it's like, again, but I know that I can win her back or him back if I put in a lot of effort, is what I feel like. I feel like this is okay. If this person comes back and wins me over, I would take them back, but I'm going to make them work hard for it. Is what I feel. And I also feel like the choice is, again, for your person, is realizing that the grass isn't greener on the other side. There is someone keeping me from you. So I don't know if that's you, or if that's, again, a parent, or if that's other obligations. But there's not a love relationship here. It could be another obligation. So it could be a baby daddy, baby mommy, but it's not really like the person's in a love relationship with them. They're just manipulating them to make sure that they don't move forward in their life. I feel like I can be my true self around you. So again, there's a sense of this soulmate twin flame relationship, but maybe the people that your person's around, I feel like for some of you people, it's family. It's like the person's like mother or father, or like somebody that's very dominant and controlling, and you'd be like, the person's grown. It's like, it doesn't matter. Sometimes a mother like loses her husband, and that child becomes that person's, like, almost not where they're like, they get treated like a husband, I should say, or treated like a wife, because the child overcompensates and winds up doing a lot for that parent in order to like buff them from the loss of their spouse, and then they never break out of that role. And excuse me. And that's what I'm feeling. So I'm feeling like there's other obligations. There's other things that, or it could be, like I said, a baby mama, baby daddy that just doesn't want their ex to move forward because they feel like they're going to get less, that they're not going to be around. There's all this. So, but your person says, but I still know that I can still feel like I can be myself around, which obviously, if your person was playing the field, they had, and they were not young, and they're not young. They're someone that's like really was playing the field for a really long time, and they wanted to keep their options open. They had commitment issues, and they would have commitment issues, especially if they are obligated to people that they're not passionate about, right? It's like, so why would they want another responsibility, is actually what I'm feeling. Like, because I have to take care of this, why do I want to take care of something else? But I'm obligated to this person. And it's, again, it could be baby mommy, baby daddy, but it's like they're not in a relationship. There's no love there. It's just, just like obligation, like the person was trained to feel it. So I want to look and see what some hidden truths are. Yeah. Because when I looked at the hidden truths with that, it was like, I wonder if you're happy without me. I wonder, like, again. So actually we saw that. So let me actually then, I want to look at the triggers, because this would trigger the hell out of me. Like, somebody is like with somebody else that they don't really want to be, or not with somebody else, but giving to somebody else, or feels obligated to someone else, but still has feelings. But is, again, when they think of the relationship, they feel overloaded. Of course, you would feel overloaded because it's like you have so much work to get back to this person. I mean, and of course, the person that's dealing with this, would feel overloaded because just the thought of your person having to deal with someone else, it's like, and not just be happy in a relationship, is also an obligation. Also, it's like that your person's not cutting the cord clean in order to like move forward in their relationship. So that's going to be a problem eventually if the person comes back. That's It didn't say that they were, but they were thinking, are you happy without me? Which I'm going to read into that and be like, are you happy without me? I'm starting to understand our connection. Well, you're still thinking about the person. So your person's still thinking about you. But again, more from a logical, analytical, strategic mind, which love doesn't work that way. Kept out, I do not feel involved in anything regarding your life. My opinions do not matter. Yeah, like you shut them out. And so that is really what's making this person actually look at their behavior. I feel like take you actually into consideration than before, because before if they're attached to somebody else, again, but not in a relationship, but still obligations there, it's like, why would you give them? Your person wanted that. That's why they're like, oh, if I work hard, I can be back. And there's a part of you that's like, yeah, if they work hard to get back, but there's also a sense that this person likes to play the victim. Because these two cards to me are victim wise. It's like, listen, you still have two cups up here. You're looking at like what you have to do to fix it. You don't want to do anything to fix it, and you can easily get out of your mess. It's like, but you have to be clear and decisive on what you want. And I don't really believe that your person is clean and decisive on what they want. Again, they're mania. There's a lot of mania there. They're overstimulated, manic. Manic we know is bipolar. So they're not coming from a balanced state of mind. They're very confused. They're anxious, and that's probably because whoever is connected to them knows that they don't really want to be taking care of them or doing whatever they're doing. So at this point, your person is fighting their own wound, like fighting their own demon, and their demon is that they need to love themselves enough to do what they want to do. So your person is realizing like I really want this to work. I hope that it does. Or even just as friends, I'm feeling like the person wants that forgiveness. At friends, I feel like your person feels like, well, at least at best, I would, the person you may not want to be in a relationship again with me, but you would at least want to be my friend, is what I'm feeling like your person thinks. So I'm going to close it out. I just want to look and see what is the karmic lesson for all this. Like, what is it like? I mean, when a person, and what I think is, again, it's really true love really does make us change. So I see that this is true love. And my own side note for this is that your person is just really horrible with being able to express themselves emotionally. And I believe that they weren't planning on falling in love, because I think a lot of times we don't. And they were content taking care of whatever they were taking care of, but they realize that, they need love too. I think that your person tried to live without love. They tried to, and maybe again, they're connected to someone for money reasons, but again, there's no love there. That's why your person was like, I can like live this way. And what they realized is they can't until they met you, but they still played a lot of games. in order to, so now it may be too little too late. When I look into your eyes, I see the universe and it activates me. So it's again this total, like, again, this soulmate twin flame sometimes could be that person's muse again, or it's also like it activates me, it activates the person's heart because they were living like in a relationship that there's no love, or they're not even in a relationship, they're connected to someone that they're giving and giving and giving and they're not getting anything back. And so they were content on living this way, it was safe for them. And so what they realize is it's not really safe. What they realize is that, I feel dead inside. I feel dead inside because I'm doing what everybody else wants me to do. I'm doing what everyone else like wants me to do, but I'm not pleasing myself. And these two just popped out, so I'm going to read them. Love like ours can change the world. So again, the soulmate twin flame relationship is again can, because if this person is changing because they don't want to change, remember, they were playing the field. They were giving nothing to you. They did not want this. They were acting victim. And now they made this big mess where I wonder whether you're happy. It's like, and now they're like, oh, now that you're not with me, it's like, I realize, like, I can see, like I need that. Without that, I don't have that. And it's like, it really is true love because I can still really feel our connection, and I've tried to walk away from this. I don't want this. Logically, it doesn't make sense. It was just easier. And that could be just from what your person has gone through within their life. So again, they're not really 100% balanced. So they're actually not looking into your thing, but from where they stand, they said we had a deep passion connection. You were there for a long time. This is something special. And this is, you show up in my dreams. It helps me process buried memories. What did I say? We're going to close it out right here because that's what I was saying. Soulmate twin flame relationship activates and pulls out every single wound we have. That's what I started this reading off with. That's how I knew this is a soulmate twin flame relationship. But your person's not healed. Your person has to get out of their situation, and they have to again move forward in their life, and they have to leave that clean. There's a sense that they're already thinking about leaving, but they haven't clean ended it. So I feel like their relationships always are like wobbly, and they just feel like, well, love will conquer it all and I realize that it's really you now. Well, it's again, you are their soulmate twin flame. The energy is balanced in the fact that on equal energy exchange, but they are in this karmic situation that they need to get out of. And you are the catalyst. I believe that helps them do that. And then whether that's again with a baby mama, baby daddy, family member, work people, there's no love here, but guilt is still guilt. And that's the energy that really needs to be transmuted into love. And that's what's going to happen here. So I wanted to just close it out. Not today, Cynthia. If you want to do that, join my live stream, subscribe to the channel. I will be on again tomorrow. Bye.